Other duties as assigned.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. An executive session was held in advance of this meeting to discuss personnel, contract, and/or other legal matters. If everybody could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Do we need to amend the, is this where we want to amend
No.
the agenda? No, we're not, okay.
We'll do it at the meeting part. Okay. Is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, next is number 4, public comments on agenda items only. All right, I don't see any. Next is a motion to approve the minutes from the October 11th regular board meeting, the November 1st policy meeting, and the November 1st caucus meeting.
So moved. Second.
Got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion, is there any negative votes? Motion carries. All right, number 6, student representative reports. Welcome.
Hello. It is November. This is the first month we have Leah, our junior board rep here. Very excited to have her. To start off, the marching band at the high school got an outstanding rank at the Cavalcade of Bands competition last month. I went along because I'm a manager in the band. It was a very swell experience.
Going along with our arts and our music, we have Zion Wilson, who placed at our district chorus competition. I believe she placed pretty high, like 3rd, so that's exciting.
A couple weeks ago, the Principals Advisory Committee met with Dr. Fox, Mr. Bard, and a rep from Nutrition Group to discuss various concerns with cafeteria food, such as mold and overcooked items.
We also have our fall play coming up this November. It's November 18th and 19th. I urge you all to come out and support our fall play members in theater. And
last year, there was a plan to replace the bathroom stall doors in our bathrooms. That is still going to occur, but with supply chain issues, it just hasn't come to fruition yet. But it will come. It will happen.
This Thursday, the students have an early dismissal, and in the morning of that early dismissal, we have activity periods. I know the students are very excited for this. It's giving us all an opportunity to work on our individual clubs and have a meeting with the whole group. And if you're not in a club, then you have a variety of other options that you can do.
Our National Honor Society is holding a quizathon November 16th at 6:30 in the LGI, where the teachers will actually submit questions for the NHS members to answer and to compete against each other. It's like family, or like the game shows, but for fun.
November 18th, we have winter sports starting, so no, I'm very excited for that. It's wrestling, girls and boys basketball.
And yearbooks are up for sale. There is a paper form in the library and a QR code outside of room 115. So if any of you have high schoolers or know some high schoolers, tell them to order their yearbooks because they will not regret it.
And lastly, we have the volleyball tournament coming up this month. I know all students are very excited for this, and we all look forward to it.
And that's all. Any questions, comments? Joyce?
One, actually. I would like to thank you for bringing the lunch issues and cafeteria issues to myself and Dr. Fox's attention. On Friday, with there's being no school, the cafeteria personnel are coming in for a training with the nutrition group, and myself will be addressing them along with your concerns that have been ongoing since that meeting, from that meeting and since that meeting, in hopes of getting and answering and addressing all those concerns. So thank you for bringing those to our attention.
All right, thank you. All right, next is financial. Looking for a motion to move A and B.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion, is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Next is number 8, a motion to authorize the board to approve Act 57 resolution waiving additional charges and late payment of real estate tax beginning July 1st, 2023, and each tax year thereafter.
So moved.
Second.
All right, got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? Okay, motion carries. Number 9 is a motion to approve the tax appeal for parcel 210-134-02-029-000 with the appraisal value of $1,114,486 and the assessed value of $7,902,400 from the original of both of those, which was much higher.
So moved.
Second.
All right, got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Number 10, looking for a motion to accept COPS grant from the Department of Justice in the amount of $132,037.50. The district's 25% cash match is $44,012.50.
So moved.
Second.
All right, got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion, is there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Number 11, approve the capital reserve funds in the amount of $44,012.50 to replace and upgrade our aging security system.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? That's approving the $44,000 from the line before.
That's correct.
All right, so is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Next, I'd like to move personnel number 12. That's going to be A through G.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Give everybody a second to read that. Is there any discussion? Are you good, John?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Number 13 is an independent athlete. Motion to approve Rachel Singley as an independent swimmer for the 22-23 swim season.
So moved.
Second.
All right, is there any discussion?
Just that I should abstain from that vote. Oh, I don't have to? Do I have to abstain for the next one? Since it's me? Okay, sweet.
All right, so is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. All right, next is a motion to approve Ray and Leanne Singley as volunteer independent swim coaches for the 22-23 swim season.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. All right, 15, general contracts, a motion to approve the contract for Pro Quality Cleaners to provide temporary cleaning services for the Susquenita School District.
So moved.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? Motion carries. All right, 16, motion to approve the first reading of 218.3 and 805.2.
So moved.
Second.
I already got a first and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none. Is there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. 17, motion to approve a field trip for Computer Club to NASA Museum in Annapolis, Junction, Maryland on January 6, 2023 to tour the museum and talk to the staff.
So moved.
Second.
The students will be missing one day of school. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, is there any negative votes? Motion carries. 18 is update from Cumberland Perry Area Career Technical Center.
Okay, I don't know there's a whole lot to say at this point since we met with Justin last week. My suggestion is that when we vote on this, that we have a roll call on it. I think it's important. And I'm going to encourage everybody to be unanimous. I don't know what the other districts are going to vote. But I think, there's some districts out there aren't sure about this or don't want to do it. I think we need to send a united message to them all that we are for this. Our students deserve to have this. And that's why we recommend that we have a unanimous roll call vote.
Dr. Rubish, didn't you say that all of the JOC members unanimously voted for?
Yes. Yes, the JOC members did. Also keep in mind that some districts don't come to the JOC meetings.
Fair enough.
Okay. And are we planning on voting on that in the December meeting?
Yes, that would be the goal, I believe, is December, and no later than January, but I think December. That way they can get the information back to Cumberland Perry Area Career and Technical Center. It is a resolution that we'll ask to pass, and that resolution does stipulate in there's two actions. Number one, to open the Articles of Agreement. Opening the Articles of Agreement allows us to incur, as a Cumberland Perry Area Career and Technical Center and part of the Joint Operating Committee, to incur some debt. And then the second part is that we support the building project moving forward.
Is it fair, Dr. Rubish, to say if any of us still have questions about anything concerning this, that we could send them to you and you could raise them with either Mr. Brune or at the next JOC meeting?
Sure. There probably will not be a JOC meeting until after usually skip in November, and right now they're planning on not having one in November. So the next meeting over there will probably be after we vote.
But you could reach out directly.
I could reach out to Mr. Brune, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Dr. Rubish, you also have the Black Hawk Foundation update.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, I can't wait to the day that I can retire. The Susquenita Black Hawk Foundation consumes my life. We had a special meeting last night. We approved 3 programs, indoor track and field for the winter, a library book machine at the middle school, and to support our esports teams. The people on the esports teams, the students, are going to construct their own computers. So we thought 3 very worthwhile programs. The 5K on Saturday, 5K is moving along. Last time I looked, we had 62 participants. We had 85 last year. We had a strong walk-up last year. Hopefully we get that too. The weather right now is supposed to be okay. It's supposed to rain on Friday, but not on Saturday, so we're hoping that holds out that way. We're good with sponsors. We're good with participants. We can use a little bit of support. The people that just help out during this event, we're sort of right there. We don't need anybody to be absent on Saturday. So if you can help out, please let me know, because we could have you give out bottles of water or do something for us. But right now, things are looking pretty good for it.
Great. Yep. Great. Thank you for the update. All right. Next is 20 meeting schedules.
I'd like
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to waive policy 005 for the meeting
In December.
in December.
Second.
All right, I got a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, can someone explain what that means?
Sure, absolutely. That policy stipulates during times where we need to, in the first Monday of the month of December, to reorganize. We had scheduled our meetings typically in Tuesday, which is the second day after. So we're asking, due to that, to continue to have our meetings on that Tuesday and to waive the policy just by one day and to continue to have our meeting as advertised.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no other discussion, is there any negative votes? The agenda's wrong.
It's advertised.
It's advertised correctly, but the agenda's wrong.
Okay, thank you.
So the meeting will be Tuesday, December 6th at 7 o'clock, right here in the high school LGI room. So everyone can mark their calendar and come to the meeting in December. All right, so if there's no negative votes, motion carries. 21. Looks like we're getting rid of some stuff at the high school, an old laminator with some parts. And
What is a trip light switch?
trip light switch.
Oh, okay. Trip light is the... Oh, trip light submarine. I'll sell it to you cheap.
Those floppy disks might actually be worth money. Didn't they just sell one of them for like a couple $100,000 for some reason?
Seriously?
Yeah, some floppy disk just sold for some great amount of money. And those Polythium boards, I think I was on the board when we bought them. They were going to be the best thing that ever happened, and the government was throwing all kinds of money around, and now we're just going to throw them out.
That just
All
shows
right.
how long you've been on the board, because
I've been
I
on the
was
board
in
too
school
long,
when we were getting those.
obviously. I can say when I came on the board, there were 3 schools. It wasn't one building. So, all right, administrative report.
Thank you very much, and happy November. It was great to see our students dressed up for their creative outfits for the Halloween parade, so thanks to our teachers and to our building administrators and to the PTO and volunteers for organizing that spooktacular event. As Taryn and Leah said, congratulations to Bethany Tome and Zion Wilson for participating in the PMEA District 7 Choir Festival. Bethany placed 28th and Zion placed 3rd, and we'll move on to the District Music Festival in January. We had a great visit from Steve Harnett and Brian Durfor from Apple as they conducted a site visit and had discussions with teachers, administrators, as well as some students, and inquired about us hosting educators at the end of January, beginning of February. So we'll talk more about that. We welcome guests. We welcome the opportunity to kind of share our story and to learn from others as well, because we know that learning is social, and the more that we do that, the more that we can grow professionally. I have a clue for you. What great community event is happening on November 18th and 19th. A hint, an amazing fall performance of the classic board game Clue. Please come out and support students and to see their talent and hard work come into effect. Congratulations to all of our fall athletes, especially our seniors. Our girls soccer team tonight is out competing at Southern Columbia. Unfortunately, it appears right now it's 4-0, but they're going to continue to battle. They've done an amazing job. They had a really great game, I would say, at Boiling Springs. It went into penalty kicks at the end, and then fought back after a quick loss to Trinity, played back, beat Berks Catholic here at home, and now we're in the first round of the state championship game. I was excited to watch our girls cross country compete at states this past Saturday at Hershey, and they did a great job. And it was the weather was a little bit hotter than normal, as we experienced 76-degree weather when it's supposed to be 46 degrees or so. So it was a little unseasonably warm for the athletes, but they competed well. Please note November 10th, our students will be dismissed for a half day and our teachers will conduct professional development and prepare for conferences in the second half and into the evening. And students will now have school on November 11th, as we will hold parent-family engagement meetings and conferences that day. Please reach out to your teacher for more information, and your principals have sent that information out for sign-ups. A special thank you to all of our veterans. We thank you for our service to our great nation. We thank you and respect you for your service. And please, throughout the next few days, join me in personally thanking any veteran that you know for their service to our great United States of America. With that, we, as Dr. Rubish said, please come out and join us and volunteer, or even kick off like I'm going to do, take your running shoes for a walk, and join us on the second annual Black Hawk Foundation Veterans Day 5K on November the 12th, 2022. So good luck also to our cheerleaders tomorrow night, who are going to the competitive cheer competition at Newport. That begins at 7 o'clock. So if we could go on and cheer on those who cheer for our teams all the time, they would definitely appreciate our support. And finally, thank you to our community. If we do not see you before Thanksgiving, we wish you all of the best and have a very safe holiday, and go Buffalo Bills. All right. We are going to go to Mr. Bard, business operations, sir. Mr. Bard.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. As I would like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, and I also would like to hope everyone comes out for the Veterans 5K. Like Dr. Fox says, you can take your running shoes for a walk. Just be very careful, because like Dr. Fox says, you don't want to trip and fall like he does in the front of the high school. He's very clumsy, like you know, and he just trips and falls sometimes, and then blames it on me for pushing him, but that didn't happen, but it's okay. We're still going through our physical audit, or our financial audit. They are short-staffed like everyone else is, so that they have not completed the final calculations or tabulations. They do have all the data, and they are still working through that, but they do have all the information they have, so it will be done and completed much earlier than it was last year. If you remember last year, the district did not complete their audit until March. This year it will be done under the normal circumstances. The state granted us, as they do all school districts, a 30-day extension of the AFR window till November 30th, and I am confident that we will have our AFR completed by the end of this month. I would like to encourage anyone to apply for any custodial positions. We have currently 8 openings, actually 9 openings now. As the board did approve resignations tonight, there's 9 openings. Also encourage them to apply for any paraprofessional openings, or paraeducator openings, as well as any bus driver openings as well, because Roar is struggling for drivers as well. I'd like to thank the community for their support and their continued support of our transportation program. As you know, we do combine bus routes on a regular basis due to the ongoing bus driver shortages, as the staff shortages are not unique just to the Susquenita School District. They are widespread, but we do have a significant amount of shortages here. Other than that, I think we're in a very good place operationally, and I'd like to thank all of the patients for operationally and moving forward. I'd like to thank all the veterans for their service to America moving forward, and I will turn it over to Dr. Tyler Herman for his special education report.
Thank you, Mr. Bard. At this time of year, we have a state reporting obligation within special education, which is the December 1 child count. So I thought I would share some preliminary numbers regarding that with the board for probably just some longer term planning and thinking about. So within special education specifically, which is chapter 14, we are about 30 students higher than last December 1 count, which is also last year's December 1 count was higher than the year before that. And so essentially, just we are trending upward in the number of students being identified under chapter 14. And then within chapter 15, which is section 504 service agreements, we had a significant increase in number of students identified under section 504 from last year at this time. And then within chapter 16, which is gifted education, we also have an increase. So there's an additional 7 students right now that are identified, and I think that's in a positive direction because there was subgroups last year that were recognized as being missed, I guess, for lack of a better word at that time. And we are starting to catch some additional students to get them those supports. So overall, we're at an additional 60 plus students identified across the chapters at this time of year compared to last year at the same time. Right now, that there's probably not a large consequence to that, but I would just say that if there's, it seems to be each year that the trend is still, so over time, if it continues going up, there's probably some planning that we may want to consider for ensuring that everyone is fully supported. But I think that was it, so thank you.
Good evening. I just want to start out by thanking all the teachers, the principals, for all the help that they give in the cleanliness of your buildings. Everybody stepped up, understand that we're short-staffed. So, board, thank you for getting the pro quality cleaning in here temporarily until we get some more help. That should give some relief off of my staff. Maintenance staff's been cleaning every morning. The custodian staff that we do have is working all overtime, so I want to thank them. They're definitely team players. So, board, thank you for the pro quality. I can't wait to bring those folks on board. The track was just finished up last week with the concrete barrier or the curb inside. That turned out rather well. So the curb and track is done now. It's a lot safer to run. And I think that's all I have. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Not too much to report for tonight. We were lucky enough to have our second major incentive for our PBIS program. So we had ultimately a school-wide dodgeball incentive, and that went excellent. I've never seen so many kids gasping for air, coming out to get water, and then quickly running back in, complaining about their arm. And we had quite a few teachers complaining that their arms were sore the next day too. So I think the teachers also had a great time. So the incentives that we've been doing almost on a monthly basis is a great part of our PBIS program. The kids love it. They look forward to it. It really integrates our High Five program. So really looking forward to our future activities for that as well. We had Bingo for Books last Friday. This is always a big event. Great turnout again. I think that this year we've been doing a great job just doing everything we can to get books in kids' hands and getting them excited and having families be a part of that. And I think that there was a lot of excitement around that for this event. And going along the lines of our soccer girls, we, along with the middle school, were able to bring everyone out and have the team come through with their bus. And how many fire trucks did we say? 6 fire trucks as well. So it's great to see kind of that full circle, seeing the elementary, seeing the middle school, having kids talk about their future. And I think this year as a district, we've been doing a really good job kind of having that cycle where the high school kids are coming down, the middle school kids are coming down, but also the elementary kids are supporting the high school kids as well. Report cards are live today. So if you're a parent that's having any difficulty getting into that, just let us know. We will be providing paper report cards for K through 2 at parent-teacher conferences. If you are unable to come in for parent-teacher conferences, we will be sending them home. And just a quick note with that, our conferences are scheduled Thursday and Friday. So Thursday it is 5 to 8, and then Friday 8 to 3. You still have time to sign up. So if you have not done so, please do that because we want as many families there as possible. A couple more, I know it's a little early, but throwing a pitch out there for Adopt a Family. It looks like this year we're looking at almost 200 families we're hoping to support. This is an excellent district-wide initiative. I know that when we get a little bit closer, it's a lot of fun to bring everyone together, looking forward to supporting these families. And last, just a quick plug. I know that I see it every day on our sign for our recess and lunch aids at the elementary school. If there's anyone interested at all, please do not hesitate to reach out. I am happy to talk to anyone and give them more details on that.
Good evening, everybody. As Mr. Fortelka said, my first reminder was going to be to parents about report cards being live. If you have any questions or problems, don't hesitate to reach out to Mr. Black or myself. Looking back, the past couple weeks have been very busy in the middle school. On Friday the 28th, we had many students show up to school dressed in their best Halloween costumes. And then that evening, we also had Halloween bingo that the PTO put on for us, and that was a great time that we had. Also on November 1st, the PTO also provided middle school students with the opportunity to see David Hagerman. If you're not sure who he is, he's known for his magician performance on America's Got Talent, and he dazzled all the middle school students at the high school on November 1st with his science program. On Monday the 31st, we also held our second Best of the Blackhawks celebration. Once again, this is a group of students that get chosen by staff members. This month was the A in Hawks, which stands for Acting Responsibly. Those students, once again, had a donut party in the morning and then got to decorate pumpkins in the afternoon. I just want to say thank you to our PTO. They really step up and provide a lot for our students and a lot of the programming. I know we got some more things coming up here soon in the next couple months. Just moving forward, a couple dates to look forward to. On November 10th this week, Thursday, we're having a Veterans Day assembly for the entire school. As Mr. Fortelka said, parent-teacher conferences Thursday and Friday this week. On Monday the 14th, we begin a week-and-a-half-long Spirit Week at the middle school, which I think is mirrored with the elementary school. So they have that going on too. On November 16th, we have a 5th grade program coming through named Think Energy, which all 5th grade students are going to participate in. And then on November 17th, we have picture makeups for all students. And as always, stay connected with us on Facebook and our newsletter.
I'd like to start off, like I always will, with thanking our student reps, Taryn and Leah. They do a great job of keeping us updated on what's going on at the high school. They make my job a lot easier here on these updates, so thank you so much for that. You guys do a great job. Sentiment with what's going on with the elementary and the middle school. We have parent-teacher conferences coming up on Thursday and Friday. Our schedules are finalized, but if anybody wants to do a last-minute conference, you can always reach out to the teachers by email, and they can fit you into their schedules. Report cards went live, of course, today here at the high school as well. I sent that out this morning. If anybody has any questions, they can reach out to myself or Mr. Funk. Some other things that we have coming up are Keystone exams, the winter wave. That's only a select students. Any student that's taking that, there's going to be information coming out this week to the parents, kind of all the information that parents would need to know with scheduling and everything like that, so you know when your students are going to be taking those exams. Also, this Thursday, Mr. Carr is selling spaghetti dinners for the teachers through the theater program. So, and they're delivering through the whole school district to the elementary and middle school as well. So any teacher that doesn't want to, pack their dinner for Thursday night as they have to stay late for conferences, they're offering those up. So that's just a great way to get everybody involved and kind of raise some money for that theater program. And of course, last thing, the fall play. We've talked about this multiple times, but I want to make sure that everyone's aware with Clue coming up November 18th and 19th. Please come out and support our theater program. They've been working really hard on it, spending hours and hours every evening. I can hear the screams. They're practicing every evening, so I want to make sure the community comes out and supports those students as well. Thank you.
Good evening. First, I would like to just make sure everyone's aware that we have officially released our first podcast, News from the Nest, Stories Soaring Around Susquenita. So if you haven't listened, please do so. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast. It will be on Google Podcasts. We're having a little technical difficulties there, but by the time our next episode comes out at the end of the month, you can also find it there. So please subscribe and also give us a positive review so we can get out there to more public. So we're really excited about that initiative. Just so families are aware, I'm sure most of you know, we've had some little iPad problems connecting to the internet the end of last week and over the weekend. We do think that they're resolved. In order for the iPads to connect at home, they do have to connect here first on the internet. And then you may have to disconnect from the home router and reconnect at home in order to kind of get that cash back in there. If the students are still having problems, please submit a help desk ticket and we can help them through that process. Last time I looked, it looked like about 200 iPads still haven't received the profile, so I know at least 200 iPads won't be able to connect from home. Hopefully this week, over the next couple days, we'll get the rest of them connected. And just to piggyback off the report cards, you can contact the help desk to parents if you do not know how to log into PowerSchool. We can help make sure that you know how to get into PowerSchool and Canvas. So if you need help for either of those accounts, please contact the help desk. Thank you.
Okay. Next is board reports. Is there any board members that wish to provide any reports or comments at this point?
Sure, just real quick. In just by piggybacking a little bit on the athletics thing, I think we had a historic entrance in both the state championships. Girls soccer, it's the first time in program history they've entered the state championships. It's also the first time we've ever had 3 females at the cross-country state championships in one season. So kudos to those athletes. There was something else I wanted to say.
And the girls they were 3rd at districts, which was their highest finish ever. And for the boys, they finished 11th, and it was the highest finish in over 12 years for that team at districts. For cross-country boys, yep.
And I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone as well.
Yep.
Anybody else? I would like to thank the administration for making sure that we were able to get the soccer field for the girls' game on Saturday, which there was some stuff scheduled. We had to move around. I know it probably wasn't simple, but thanks for doing that for them. And then Pete, unfortunately, I won't be able to join you on Saturday, but make sure you have a good time. And you said you were bringing your sneakers. I heard it. We wrote it down here.
They don't make size 17 sneakers. I don't run or walk in these.
A lot of people run barefooted. You'll be fine.
My doctor highly advises against this.
All right, next. 24 is public comments. Is there anything non-agenda related? All right, none. All right, next I'll ask for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Any negative votes? Meeting adjourned.